Welcome to round 8 of the AMF GT Series racing on Sunday night, sponsored by Century Batteries Lismore and powered by RMS. My name is Bruce and I'll be your commentator for tonight. Steve is away, so I'm filling in the gaps for him, and we've got Isaac in the commentary booth with us. How are you, Isaac?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. It's a long time since I've done this, so obviously going to be a bit rusty, so give us a fair go, everyone, and we'll see if we can get through it.
Yeah, it's been a long time between drinks for you. Bit of a shame that Steve is here, but I can guarantee he will be back here next week for the 9th round of the AMF GTF series. So here we are at Mid-Ohio. This is the first time I've actually seen people race here, because I not too long ago just got Mid-Ohio.
I'm just going to make sure everything's working all okay, Isaac, so if you want to chat away, go right ahead.
Yeah, sure will. Outside of real life, as far as I know, that Mid-Ohio is actually used in the NASCAR Xfinity series, because I do remember Owen Wilson, who is... No, not Owen Wilson, sorry, not the American actor. Owen Kelly, who is not related to the Kelly brothers, Todd and Rick, racing in the Xfinity series a couple of years ago in the wet. It was like those rare times where a NASCAR series is racing in the wet, because they've put new rulings saying that for road racing they are allowed to use Goodyear wet tyres. I believe there are several other race series that run in Mid-Ohio. It's definitely a underrated track of some sort. Not a lot of like well-known iRacing series like the fish that. Probably like one of the big leagues, like I can't really think off the top of my head, but they don't use Mid-Ohio. So yeah, this is one of those tracks that definitely needs a bit more attention than the all the other tracks that they currently use at the moment. Forgot. Were you about to say something?
No, I was just about to say, this is a tricky little track. There's a lot of flip-flops and tight little corners, so it is a little tricky little track, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. So it's good to see a track like this have a bit of exposure. It's like it's been sitting in the dust for quite some time, so time to blow some dust off the track and get quite a number of cars into racing. We got a lot of cars tonight.
Yeah, single split tonight, and it's only a 3.62k track, so 13 turns, so 40 odd cars are going to run around it, so it's going to be a tight one.
It will be, and overtaking may be a bit of a concern, because even though the track does look pretty wide, it may not be as wide as some people may think it to be, because you're going to be passing not only for like position but also for different classes, and it will be a really big issue if you're trying to pass it in terms of classes. As the cars start to load now, I think... What do you think, Bruce? Do we get the positions up and running?
Yeah, mate, the grid is all up there, ready to rock and roll, so we've just gone through the top 10. We'll jump over and have a look at the GT3 grid. And, yeah, so we got Brady McHugh in first, Kyle Dawson, Simon Latter, Grant Matterford, Tyler Bowen, Benjamin Faulkner, Martin Casey, Chris Radisich, Brennan Young, and Mark Doyle brings out the top 10.
Top 10 in GTE, we've got... it's a FSR 1-2, which is a first for this season. Craig Edwards in P1, Matthew Huppets in P2. Race on Oz take out the second row. Stephen Lattimore, Justin Wallace. William Mitchell's P5. Kenneth Latter is P6. Wayne Hewlett's P7. Jason Cozy is in P8. Chris Whitaker in P9. And Dave Clements is in P10.
Green, green, green!
And just like that, race gets underway, and Craig Edwards off to a blinder at the start. Matthew Hubbard steps in behind. Will play second gunner. He's going to try and hold up the FSR car. Whoa! Car gone really wide down.
Someone's gone really wide. Yeah, he's right off.
Jason Cozy. Because Jason Cozy absolutely mistimed turn 1, but managed to get back on track relatively safely. See how the GT3s go here. Brady McHugh in a BMW Assault. All go through turn 1, relatively uneventful. So yeah, well done from the...
saying that he just exits a little bit wide. Commentator's curse, Isaac.
Yeah, commentator's curse. I was not expecting that. Back on the GTEs for a bit. There is a bit of an FSR Assault here. No, not FSR. I'd say who was that in front of Jason Cozy? Paul Wood. He's in the dial before you dig BMW M8. He's getting hounded by Jason Cozy, who had that little incident at turn 1. Completely mistimed that the exit there, because it comes at you like out of nowhere. So manages to maintain a... Whoa, another car's going a little bit wide there. I think that was Rob Gray. No, not Rob Gray. Jet Bennett in the Ford GT had a bit of a going wide there. So yeah, actually quite clean for the first couple laps.
I was just about to comment on that, exactly the same thing. It has been a very, very clean start. I honestly thought this was going to go pear-shaped quite quickly, but both fields, the GTE and GT3, have come together very, very well and put together a good, clean first lap or so. So it's good to see.
Yeah, it really is. Was not expecting the entire field to actually be as clean as it is. I think Jason Cozy is about to sacrifice, or was about to sacrifice a spot to Darren Huxham in the FT1 Beamer. Close, but not close enough. Just looking in the YouTube chat there from Energizer99, IndyCar and IMSA use Mid-Ohio as well, so there we go. I knew a couple of other major series use it in real life, use this track, as well as the NASCAR Xfinity series. There are a bit of action here and there, but it's all pretty tame at the moment.
Been a pretty structured start to the race, which is good. We were debating earlier on whether the safety car would come out and be used for this race due to the fact that the little blind crests and short corners sort of thing. So, but no, it's good to see that everyone's sticking to their guns and doing what they need to do.
128, you have a 20-second stop and hold for causing a collision. I repeat, car 128, you have a 20-second stop and hold for causing a collision. You can serve your pit stop with the stop and hold.
That was Roy Clark, and he's currently last in the GT3. So we must have missed something where we're looking at the front of the pack. So yeah, that was Ryan Colstead, race control for this race. He'll be jumping in every now and again to see what the official...
this is a busy little pack back here if you have a look now, Isaac. Yeah. The GTEs are right bumper to nose, so this is a good little battle forming here.
Yeah, is this the one with Dave Clements, Rob Harris? It looks like Rob Harris is actually in a new team as well, the Sim Racing channel, unless he's made that one himself. Must be a new addition. Yeah,
I saw him during the week put a post up saying that he's joined a new team, so it's good because, I mean, previously he's been running as a privateer, so he's launched back into another team again, so...
Yeah, it's pretty good to see. for those who knew Rob Harris, he did race with Valkyrie Sim Racing. He did race as a privateer for maybe around for like at least 2 months maximum. Now he's in Sim Racing Challenge, so it's actually pretty good that a team has come up and said, "Hey, we got a spot vacant for you. You are willing to give it a shot?" He gave it a shot, and look where he is now. And I think that is Roy Clark in the pits. No, he's still out there in the Audi R8. Someone's already gone into the pits there. I'm just trying to see who that was. I don't know who that was, but the gap between first and second, well, it's FSR at the moment, is 0.6 of a second. Craig Edwards on Nathan Huppets. A bit of stats from Craig Edwards. He currently has, well, he's pretty much won the most races of the season. He's won 6 of the last 7. Success rate of 85%. So that's actually pretty good for someone like Craig. He is a past champion. Didn't win last season, but it looks like it's all but guaranteed he's going to get that number 1 back on the FSR BMW come season 8. And there's a bit of a angsty battle here. Stephen Lattimore currently is getting harassed by Paul Wood, car number 397. The BMW, he's right up the back. That's Paul Wood. He almost goes into the grass. He's going to try and get this past. Is it going to get executed here? Paul's in a better spot, but no, he just launches back in to the to that area. Ooh. Almost gets it a little bit out of control, but look, they're down the back there. Oh, Jason! Oh, he gets another one. That was Rob Gray that he just collected. Rob Harris also involved. I think another car got involved as well. I didn't see who it was.
Yeah, I think that was Jason Cos. He just lost the rear end, I think, and caused that. So
I'm just gonna go back and have a look. Oh.
And as all that's happening, Craig Edwards has just put out the fastest lap of a 1:17.303 on lap 6, so he's fairly hopping along.
Yeah, pulling no punches. Oh, that was a bit of a neckcode touch there by, I think that was Darren Huxham in that BMW. He was up in that area there, so this will be looked at in race control. In my end, it looked like a bit of netcode, but I'm not the ones in race control. I think they're going to have the final decision. It looked really close.
Let's quickly jump back over to the GT3s again, and we'll see how that's all panning out down there. They've all sort of broken up a bit and got a bit of a gap, so there's not much happening back here.
See who the closest is at the moment. Looks like they're all scattered, but it looks like the only really closest battle we've got here is between Grant Matterford and Martin Casey. This is for position. Roy Clark is in the middle of it. He's not in position. He is a lap down. Brendan Young will also take that spot. So this is probably the closest battle here between Casey and Young in what has to be a majority of BMWs. Stan Mechanic in the YouTube chat. Who was that race on Oscar that just fell off? I didn't see who it was. Must have missed.
See, Rob Harris has recovered and got the BMW back on track. Doesn't appear to be too much damage to that car, so hopefully he should be able to power on and get through this stint into his first pit stop.
Yeah, true. So I'm also looking at in the Facebook, YouTube chat again. Daniel Lee, possible to do a trading paints refresh. We don't use trading paints for this broadcast. Everyone needs to submit a paint via a Google Drive. So trading paints will not be used.
Absolutely, and
this season.
the current paints that we have are actually being broadcast at the moment. So any cars that are not showing paints, we have not got their paint uploaded to the folder, so we cannot add it.
So if you do have a paint any race in this series, make sure to upload it here.
Craig Edwards is stretching that gap out. He's out to
4.4.
Yeah, Nathan must have had a bit of an issue, or because it was a lap or so ago, it was only 1.7 seconds. So either he slowed down, or Craig Edwards has really put the boot into it and bridged that gap out a bit wider.
Yeah, maybe. And with that, Nathan's actually very surely he's going to get harassed by William Mitchell, who's not far behind him. So I reckon he's going to have a bit of assault here. I reckon I'm gonna dish the dirt here. I reckon this is team orders. I reckon someone's told Nathan to maybe just lower the pace a little bit, try and give Craig some breathing room, just kind of hold up the rest of the traffic behind him, so Craig gets a bit of a gap towards him. So yeah, last lap from Nathan was a mid 17.8. And don't know what I've done there. Craig Evans is a minute 17.6, so it's two tenths different.
See Wayne Hewitt's all over the rear bumper of Kenneth Latta as well, so this will be an interesting little battle as well. He's been sitting there for pretty much the last 3 or 4 laps, but once again, it's a hard track to get a clean pass around, and if you're going to make the pass, it's got to be a authority sort of pass to make sure that you get around and the other driver's aware that you're coming around. So
yeah, so Wayne, he's put the nose out a little bit. He knows he's waiting to find that spot so where he can go out and make the pass on ladder. It could, ladder goes a little bit wide and might be vulnerable, but it looks like he's extended that gap. Whoa, Wayne, hold on to that, son.
that was a bit of hard brake pressure right there and then to pull that up.
Yeah, it looks like it's got brakes are locked for a little bit. Thankfully, didn't go into the back of Latta. Oh, it's trying to yeah.
Gap's just seesawing between both of them, so I think it's the same situation where it's so hard to pass. Just trying to find that clean area is very hard to achieve.
Yeah, it would be. Well, Wayne's had a bit of a Blinky Bill moment. Just lost him for a little bit, but no, he's lost him again. Started blink there a little.
This Pellet just making a nice move past there. Don't know who that is in the Racing Oz car that's sitting back. Is that Ryan S. James?
Let's just see. Ryan Racing, yes, he is racing. Car 711. Looks like he's holding back there from Sal Galenti. Oh, he's blinking. Ryan's blinking for. Oh, he was gonna go for that pass on Galenti, but he wasn't gonna get it done. So it looks like he's just trying to hold back. See if he can get enough room. See if he can try and execute a pass and go for it. But it looks like Galenti is wanting none of it. pretty much shutting the door on Ryan and every move he's got.
They're both sitting there in the same equipment, so they've both got the same gear and under them. So it's one of those races or one of those situations where it all comes down to the driver.
Yeah, it does. Whoa. Ryan also was really wanting to go for that dive, but just doesn't make it. Still trying to get the pass done, but looks like it's not the case. Looks like, and Ryan goes into the pits for his compulsory pit stop, and by the looks of things, we are almost halfway there. It's got a few people in the pits at the moment. Who we've got? Chris Whitaker. Whoa! BJ Kennedy had to back up, had to stop there to let the faster Whitaker out. See who else is in the pits there? Ryan Jones. He just comes out of pits as we speak. See what else is happening down the field at the moment. Not really a battle here between Mark Dial and Chris Radicic. And right behind him on cue is Craig Edwards. He'll have to get by Radicic and Dial. Has to do it as soon as they can. There we go. Chris gets out of the way. I would think. Yep, gets it out of the way. And now he has to try and get past Mark Dial very shortly.
Going back through some of the GT3 timing, and there's gaps of 1 to 2 seconds between each of them. There's no real battles forming in the GT3 side of things. So saying that, there's only 3 or 4 cars that actually have done their compulsory pit stop. So we'll see as they come into the pit window whether any of them gaps start to close up a little bit.
Oh, that might be the case there, and actually the gap between first and second is closing just a little bit between Craig Edwards and Nathan Hupperts. And Hupperts at the moment is getting balked a little bit by those lap traffic that Craig Edwards got past not too long ago. So he has to go past Chris Radicic. For those who don't know, he is the brother of British Touring Car champion and Supercars legend Paul Radicic. Has raced in this series before. That made the top split debut last season in Spa. Let's say I had a bit of Supercars fanboy in me. I was pretty keen to interview him, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately. So that's why Chris was running the last 2 numbers was 18, as that was Paul's number when he debuted in the V8 Supercars back in 1999 with legend Dick Johnson, which was his final year in the series.
I'm a little bit surprised about this race, Isaac, that basically I thought there was going to be a lot closer gaps between car groups, but it's really spread out throughout the whole field.
Yeah, it's been largely uneventful. No huge incidents outside the Cozy, Huxham, Harris and Gray incident at the a few laps ago. But yeah, it's been absolutely clean, which has been really surprising in my opinion. I thought there would have been just a little bit more action, but no. I'm quite surprised.
Craig Edwards has opened that gap out to nearly a 5.5 second gap over Nathan Huppert. So he's just comfortably maintaining the pace and just keeping that gap and going through to the pit stop window.
Yeah, I reckon that's traffic doing that. Traffic would, yeah, definitely do something like that. When the traffic all clears, that gap would start to conform, shorten just a little bit. Ooh, I thought we were going to be in for a BMW whitewash, but no, we still have a Porsche up there. Kind of a small battle between two Porsches. We've got William Mitchell and Justin Wallace, P3 and 4. Might be the first time this season that we don't have a race on Oz driver on the podium. They've been nearly the form team this year. They've all been up front. Looks like Lattimore's kind of fallen down the order just a little bit. Currently in position number 7, about to pass Chris Radicic at lap traffic. So kind of fallen down the order a little bit. So William Mitchell, Justin Wallace, that's kind of close, but the battle between Paul Wood and Chris Palat is another close one, approximately 4 tenths in with each other. We could see a pass done really shortly, as Palat is actually getting held up by Chris Radicic. There might be a pass here done shortly, but looks like the gap has just strengthened just a little. Whoa! Thought Paul will be going right out sideways there for sure, and Radicic goes off.
Very wide then. That's the problem. I mean, we've got GTE cars which have got the aerodynamic package over the GT3. There's no difference in top speeds between the cars, but the aero package on the GTE is much better for mid-corner speeds and to keep the turn-in speed up, which ultimately brings them closer to the back of the GT3 cars.
Yeah. Like, whoa, Paul, what? He just used a little bit too much curb in that corner there. He's going to lose a little bit more time over Chris Palat. But yeah, basically, if you put a GT3 and a GTE car together, they both pretty much have the same top speed. It's just the cornering that makes it different, because GTEs are mainly not only built for endurance, but also built to corner as fast as possible. These cars conform to the 2019-2020 FIA World Endurance Championship regulations. So these will have the balance of performance from that season. We've got 4 GTEs at the moment: the Ford GTE, the Ferrari 488, the Porsche 911, and the BMW M8. All those cars, I believe, are tuned to the 2019-2020 FIA balance of performance. I think the World Endurance Championship is currently either racing or is finished racing, because they were at Spa-Francorchamps for the 4 hours of Spa, and from the photos I've seen, there was snowing. Snow in May. That sounds really bizarre.
Craig Edwards just has a talent for cutting his way through slower traffic, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's currently behind Dave Clement. He's about to go left. Whoa! Gets a little bit wide at turn 1. Yeah, he just cuts through another traffic, just gets through it. No drama, no big issue at all. Yeah, no issue at all.
Car 777, you have a drive-through penalty for causing collision, not leaving racing room. I repeat, car 777, you have a 20-second stop-go. Sorry, stop-go, not a drive-through. It is a stop-go, 20-second stop-go. You may serve your pit stop at the same time.
Oh, and actually, speaking of that, he just makes contact with Kenneth Latta, car 770. That was Pat Gello in the 777 BMW. Other than that one, we didn't pick up. So yeah, I reckon he might have been distracted when the announcement called that he would get a 20-second stop go. That, or there's a bit of red mist in the in his car, because it's really making the car go really aggressive at the moment. Sorry for the radio silence, everyone. We're just trying to see what could be the closest battle that we have. But yeah, Pat Gello, car 7 for Redback Racing, has a 20-second stop go for causing a collision that I think that's something we've missed, and he goes straight into the pits. It has a bit of damage on the BMW.
This battle between Paul Wood and Chris Pella has been going on since the start of the race, and the positions key, or the time just keeps fluctuating between 2 to 6 tenths, and then back again and forward again. So this is panning out to be an interesting battle.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, this is for position number 6. Battling between the BMW and the Porsche 911 RSR. I've got to say, I do love the Porsche. Like, it's something about the car that I really like about it. Somehow, it just looks very nice.
Not only that, it sounds really awesome too, to be truthfully honest. And saying that, Paul Wood's just come into the pit lane for his compulsory pit stop. I was just looking at that. The first 10 drivers have not pitted yet. So Paul will be the first one to pit of the top 10 drivers in position 8.
Looks like Nathan Huppert might have done the same too. His last lap was a Mini 29.0, so he might have done a compulsory pit stop. He's now currently in position number 4. I can see if I can confirm with that. No, he's had a bit of an incident. Looks like he spotted on his loadsome. So, dropped spots from a uncharacteristic incident. So, now William Mitchell and Justin Wallace, P2 and 3.
I just about had a heart leech too, because I was just looking at my timing sheet and I saw Craig Edwards completely disappear off there, and William Mitchell was placed up in the first position. So, had to go back and have a look at that, but the timing corrected itself, and he is still currently in first position.
No, that would have been pretty bad if Craig Edwards got knocked out.
So where did Stephen Lattimore end up? Oh, he's sitting back in the 5th position at the moment. So correction, currently 4th. But yeah, because he was sitting. So Williams jumped up a position or so.
Must have, and I think Justin Wallace he's come in for his compulsory pit stop. So Nathan, so I think your effective race leader is, I think it's still going to be Justin Wallace, but yeah, Craig Edwards is out for a near 11-second gap, and he has to be ready to hit the pit lane relatively shortly, because we've only got 15 minutes and 20 seconds left to go.
I don't know what happened to Nathan Huppert. He was sitting 7-8 seconds behind Craig Edwards in 2nd position. He's dropped back to 3rd. So did you see what happened to him at all?
I just saw the tail end of it. It looked like he spun out by himself, either by himself or he got impeded somewhere. Surely race control would pick it up somewhere, but yeah, it looks like he was off the track. Might have spun out by himself, either trying to pass lap traffic, or somebody's just giving him a bit of a whoop up the backside and just spun him around. But yeah, that was very, very weird.
Yeah, because if you have a look at him now, he's now 7 seconds behind William Mitchell in second position, and he was only effectively 7 seconds behind Craig Edwards. So he's lost a substantial amount of time and sitting back there in third position.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Darren Uxham comes out from his compulsory pit stop. Yeah, that's really strange. Really, really strange. I'm just looking at the Justin Wallace trying to pass BJ Kennedy. We'll try and do it at the sweeper. He will not manage to do so. They're still side by side, almost side by side between each other. It was only just in the corners that Justin gets the better run out. But he's out of luck because he's behind another GT3 of Andrew Lang in the Riot Sim Racing BMW Z4.
Justin Wallace is the first GTE that has pitted. The first 6 drivers still have not pitted yet. So if he can get some clear track and get out there and do some consistent good time laps before the other guys do, he might get a little bit of an undercut. So
yeah, that's something that that can work in racing. We did see it in the supercars. Did a night race Friday and Saturday. No Sunday racing today because who wants to race on a Sunday night? Doesn't really make sense because everyone has to work on a Monday. Yeah, we saw Simone Di Silvestro do a big undercut after pretty much balking the clutch in the start of the race. Went from 25th position and finished in, I believe it was 12th, to be her best result this season.
So we can see that Justin Wallace is ahead of Stephen Lattimore in 7th position after their first round of pit stops. So yeah, we'll see if he can get up the front end anymore.
Anything could happen. But yeah, so the drivers that have yet to pit are Craig Edwards, Willie Mitchell, Nathan Hubbard, Stephen Lattimore, Chris Palat, and Jeff Bennett. They've yet to put in a pit stop, I would think, unless my eyes are deceiving me. It looks like Stephen's actually catching up to Justin Wallace somehow, so that's a bit weird. There we go, it's just corrected itself. So Lattimore is now behind Justin Wallace for position number 5. So yeah, it's now Craig Edwards, Willie Mitchell, Nathan Hupperts, and Chris Palat who've yet to do a pit stop. Just gonna see who would go into the pits this time around. Well, Craig Edwards doesn't go into the pits. Let's see how William Mitchell goes. Tar Bowen, unfortunately.
And he does. So William Mitchell has dived into the pits there, Isaac.
They go right on cue. Tar Bowen. The race has been largely uneventful. Nothing really out of the ordinary besides just your usual procedural racing. A bit of a shame there. You would have been up the front with the front runners, Cole Dawson, Simon Lada, Mark Doyle, and all those guys. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that that's happened. Where does William come out of? Well,
Justin would have just leapfrogged him.
So, and I believe Stephen Lattimore would have. No. He's come out ahead of Justin Wallace. Come out ahead tenfolds. I would. Maybe.
Correct.
Yeah, there we go. Stays ahead of Justin Wallace. So Wow. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I would think that that William might be behind Justin Wallace, but no, he actually stays ahead. So then Nathan Huppert comes in, as well as Craig Edwards. They both come in around the same time. So I would think that Nathan might get in behind Justin Wallace. I'm going to see where he comes out of. Try and find the best camera spot to do so. There we go. Nathan comes out of the pits. Where is he going to be? He's going to be behind William Mitchell, so he will be in the third. And Craig Edwards will maintain his race lead. Oh my goodness. So basically he will be leading. Whoa, Chris Barnes trying to get past Pat Gallo. Gallo will do the crisscross on Barnes. Barnes is 3 laps down. Gallo is 2 laps down. Gallo's had to do the a pit lane penalty, so he is out of whack. Same with Chris Barnes. I think he had either had an incident or something's happened, but yeah, it's 3 laps down, but he's still racing though, so give him a bit of credit. Give him credit's due, he's still racing, even though he's 3 laps down. Whoa, we have a car. Is that Jason Cozy? It's Jason Cozy. This goes he was sideways. Demolished those. Whoa, Craig Edwards. Who was that? That was a redback car. That was Michael Spithill. Position number P8 in GT3. Jason Cozy went a little sideways at turn 1. Absolutely demolished those cones. So Craig nearly having an incident with a slower GT3. Thankfully that wasn't the case. So let me just get my calculator up because I need to know the success rate of Craig at the moment, because again he's in the box seat to get another race win. So this will be 7 from 8.
He's certainly been dominant this season, but he's also dominated a couple, I think it was season 6 as well. I think he dominated, or season 5. So he's a dominant driver. Let's just say that.
Yeah, 80. There you go, 87%. Craig has won.
Just a quick mention for Kyle Dawson too in the GT3. He's got a dominant lead at the moment, so he's just walking away with the GT3. So I don't endeavour, as long as he doesn't get tangled in anyone else's mishap, that he should forfeit that position.
Yeah, I actually think this will be Kyle Dawson's first race win in the GT3s for JP Simchet. Got a very striking livery he has there. Sponsored by JP Simchet and OMP. Pretty much taking up the front of the rear wing. Gets a little bit loose on the downhill section, but he's doing it good. He's doing it smooth. And I believe we'll have approximately another 5 to 7 laps to go. Yeah, Craig's just walked away with this one yet again. Another great race there for Craig.
This battle we described earlier on between Paul Wood and Chris Pallett is still raging on. This has been like this since the start of the race. So these two drivers have been at each other for the whole race and have not made any passing. So with 5 minutes to go, anything can certainly happen.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually right behind. Who is he behind? That Paul Wood behind. Yeah, Chris Paulette. Again, this position looks like he was pretty much bumper to bumper on the back of the PRT Porsche 911. Could have made the pass, but unfortunately Kyle Dawson was in the way, so he couldn't make the pass executed safely. So he's done the right thing, but looks like he'll now have to wait another lap to try and make a pass done, unless he can do one on the spot. Will he? No, he would stay in his current position. Sticking on the battle between Chris Paulette and Paul Wood. Almost got collected by Paul Wood, who was right behind him. They wanted to make the pass stick, but looks like up ahead another pass could have been done there. Let's see who that was. That was Wayne Hewlett on Chris Whitaker. Whitaker successfully passes Wayne Hewlett in the Red Pepper Porsche 911. Could he be in on another switch? Oh, he's going to go for another pass here. Will he do it?
Inside
no, that was close.
Beautiful driving, but
yeah, give credit where credit is due. Wayne Hewlett manages to keep the car on all four wheels.
The wheels were lock solid. They were not rotating at all.
No, thankfully he manages to keep the car straight. Doesn't hit Whitaker, thank goodness for that. But it looks like we're back in for another battle. I wonder if Wayne's going to make another pass, or he's going to learn from that mistake. Probably not to make that move again, to try and do it somewhere else. Or
well, he's got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to work out where he's going to try to do it again. So he's running out of time to make it stick.
Yeah, he is running. He's only 2 tenths. Look behind him. That's Kenneth Ladder.
Further back, that battle between Chris Paulette and Paul Wood is still raging back there too.
Yeah. So we could see a super game, like a super battle happening relatively shortly, unless time states otherwise. Wayne Hewlett is going to try and do it. Whoa! Gets the door shut there from Whitaker. He's going to try and make as many passes as possible. See where he's going to go for this one. There are a couple of passing opportunities here. Not sure where though. Haven't done a few laps around there yet. But this could be very, very close. Oh my goodness.
Doesn't get any closer than that.
No.
Still back in the background. They're still at it.
Still at it. Let's see this one here. I reckon this will be where they're gonna be for the remainder of the race. What's that?
Count your chickens yet. There's still a minute to go.
Yep, I reckon. Just wondering where Craig is. Craig's on the looks like on the uphill downhill section. So depending on where he will be, this will be the penultimate lap. I've got no idea where.
Oh, don't turn in too much.
Oh boy. This is going to get good. This has to get good.
Do you do it? Do you do the lunge? Do you?
Time is due. We could be in for a very, very close finish here from Whitaker and Hewlett. I reckon Hewlett's got got a bit of traffic there, so this may help Hewlett in some aspect. who's that in the Saita Redback car. Got a bit of damage on the back of him. That's Chris Radicic. Here we go, Wayne Hewlett, who was going to go sideways. So he's going to go from the outside to the inside. He's going to
faking every single side, just trying to put sorry, who was
Chris
it?
out of-
Chris, yeah, Chris.
Chris, yeah, try and throw Chris out
Lost
of
for
the way.
words.
Yeah. So yeah, this will be the final lap. Craig Edwards has come not long ago across the line. And actually, speaking of which, now Craig Edwards will do exactly that. He will go 7.
Oh, this is side by side.
Well, 7 from 8 race wins for Craig Edwards. But there's a bigger battle behind. And now Kenneth Ladder's got himself involved. This ain't over yet. This is going to get close. Oh, looks like there's a big enough gap there from Chris to pretty much seal this spot. Don't think there'll be any more wacky moves there, but it looks like that will be it for 7th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Scott Gamble comes across the line, Chris Radicic, Paul Wood, Mark Dial, Darren Hutchinson for 11th, Wayne Taylor is 12th, Rob Gray 22nd, Chris Barnes, he is going to crawl across the line. I reckon he might have run out of fuel, gurgling towards the line. So that's him done. The last of the runners, Stephen Bartholomew in for 15th. And Simon Larder, Brendan Young, Martin Casey. See who the last running car will be, and I think it might be Ben Faulkner for Race on Oz. Who'll be the last car across the line. No, he goes into the pits, I reckon. And we go to the pits. I think that is everyone done.
And that's it. That wraps up round 8.
So your spots are as follows. So Craig Edwards, another flawless victory. He will be in position number 1. William Mitchell will be in position number 2. Nathan Huppert makes it FSR 1-3, P3. Justin Wallace, P4. Stephen Lattimore in 5th. Whitaker, Hewlett, Latter is 6th, 7th, and 8th. Paul Wood is 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Darren Huxham. Wayne Taylor will be in P11, David Miller, P12, Jeff Bennett in P13, Ryan Jones is 14th, Stephen Bartholomew in 15th. Chris Palat, Alack Downer will be in 16th, Dave Clements will be 17th, Reese Harnell will be 18th, Brenton Hawkins 19th, Jason Cozy rounds up your 20th spot. Then it's Pat Gallo for 21st, Rob Gray, P22, Sal Galenti will be 23rd, Rob Howes will be 24th, and Chris Barnes last in position number 25. Your GT3s were Kyle Dawson, and pretty much skips away to I think will be his first GT3 race win in P1. Simon Larder in P2, Brendan Young P3, Martin Casey in position number 4, Ben Faulkner in 5th, Grant Manifest is 6th, Michael Spithill will be 7th, Brady McHugh 8th, Scott Gamble will be in P9, and Chris Radicic runs out the top 10. That's Mark Dial in 11th, Andrew Lane in 12th, BJ Kennedy 13th, Roy Clark 14th, and Tal Bowen was a DNS.
It's a lot to get through, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, that wraps up round 8. We'll see if we've got some drivers sitting in the waiting room. There's no one there at the moment. think they've all just run away, mate, and started celebrating without us.
Might have. Bit, well, there we go. Oh, I was about to say it might be a few people there. We've got one person here at the on the top there. That's Simon Lara. See where he finished.
He was second in the GT3s.
Yeah, let me just bring it up. Yep, position number 3 in GT3. So,
All right, we'll bring him in and we'll have a bit of a yarn to him.
yeah. Hey Simon, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Position number 2 for GT3. Must be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, not the extremely interesting race. That's a really small course for so many cars.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised how calm everyone was. I thought it would have been a bit of action here and there, but no, it was actually pretty.
Well, the other thing too, Isaac, like we were saying in the broadcast, is how spread out everyone was. So there weren't. We thought everyone would be bumper to bumper, but it was all spread out throughout. So, how did you find it, Simon?
To be honest, it was a bit chaotic. It seemed every corner there was another car coming up on you, whether it was a GTE3 car that was in front or behind, or a GTE car. But yeah, it was good fun. I do like this track, so that always helps.
Yeah, it definitely would. You do have the open mic. You got any sponsors? Any team sponsors?
We don't have any team sponsors, but I actually want to give a bit of a special shout out to the Riot boys. We did the Nürburgring 24-hour yesterday. We qualified 31, ended up position 10, and finished the race. So awesome job to all the boys at Riot, and of course helping me get together for tonight.
No worries. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to back it up, but I think it's time for a rest.
Yeah, definitely would. Well done, mate. Position number 2 for GT.
Thanks, guys.
No worries.
No worries.
Slows both of you down.
Sorry, Nathan, we just dragged you into here.
That's all right.
Yeah. P3 in GTEs. Sorry, we've got Nathan Huppets from FSR. Yeah, it starts from you did an FSR whitewash of the top 2, and at least you got a podium.
Yeah, we salvaged a podium, which was good. Apart from a minor mistake that I made into a braking turn, or a couple of mistakes, but yeah, certainly we had great pace tonight. So it was nice to lock out the front row in qualifying, and great to see 2 Fusion cars go well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching that, Nathan. We actually didn't see what actually happened. So, was it just a mistake from yourself that forced the drop in position?
Yeah, I made a minor mistake on the last turn in one of the earlier laps, but was second and had the pace to pull away from the guys behind, which was good. But then, yeah, just an error into the braking turn at the back of the end of the straight. I was making an adjustment to my fueling and then looked at my relative, missed my braking point, and locked up a wheel, and that was that. So it was a bit tough to get back, but yeah, got pretty close to William at the end. But he deserved second place. He drove really cleanly and drove well.
Yeah, that's true. You've got the open mic. Got the any teams, any sponsors you want to do a?
Yeah, look, obviously, big thanks to Fusion Racing, Sim Racing, for taking me on this season as well. I haven't been racing for about a year and a half. I used to race for Selby Racing, and yeah, the Fusion guys got in touch, and it's been good to get back and get some seat time in the car again. So obviously we're sponsored by AWS, Darryl Carter Plastering, and probably 1 or 2 others that I've forgotten because I haven't been on a broadcast for a while. So I'm sure Fredo will remember the rest. But yeah, big thanks to the team as well for looking after me and making me part of the team. It's great fun.
Yeah, it would be. I hope to see you up the podium a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. I'll certainly try. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, Nathan.
So that was Nathan Huppert's. We now have William Mitchell, position number 2. You've kind of broken the BMW stranglehold there. They were 1/3. You're the only Porsche.
Yeah, I've had pretty good pace all season actually, but I just haven't been able to put a race together. So I mean, any day you finish in front of an FSI car and race on Oz, you're doing.
Yeah, true. You got involved in several battles there. It looked like you were getting pretty close to Nathan Huppert's, but he had a bit of a self incident a few laps ago. So here,
Yeah, talking to him, he just had a massive brake lock up pretty much, and ran off the track. Considering what he did, he actually did really well to have the pace.
yeah, he would.
So, just before we go on, William, you've done quite a few laps around Nürburgring in the 12 hour on the Saturday. So, did that help with the driving tonight at all? Or?
I pretty much did no practice for this track at all, actually. So I'm pretty ecstatic with the.
Oh, there you go then.
So,
yeah, that answers that.
Yeah, definitely would. So you've got the open mic. You got any shout outs to your team and sponsors?
Yeah, just a big thanks to all the guys at PRT, the sponsors CM Security and Century Battery, Ryan and all the volunteers at AMF. Without them, this wouldn't happen at all. And a big thanks as well to the broadcast team. You guys do an awesome job every week.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks a lot for your time there, William. I hope to see you back on the podium as soon as.
Yeah, hopefully it's pretty soon. I'll be sure to watch the broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, thanks.
So that was William Mitchell, and now we've got your GT race winner, Craig Edwards. Craig, you're back on the top step. Yeah,
Oh, good to be here. Hi guys, how you going?
yeah, going good.
Yeah, that was a fun little race. Looks like we found the thing that the M8's the best at, which is trail braking. All those corners had big, long, descending radius corners, and just staying on the brakes and turning in. It was really hooked up.
Yeah, sounds like a bit of a advantage against all the other cars.
Yeah, definitely felt like that tonight. Yes, with so many of those corners where you pound in really fast and then stay on the brakes right to the apex, looked like that's where we had the.
Yeah, we're watching the start of the race and we're watching Nathan Huppert's. He was sticking with you for the first 5 to 6 laps, but then you just started to break away, and it was nearly one lap that you'd gain 1 to 1.5 seconds per lap sort of thing. So you sort of put the foot down and just got into rhythm and just extended that gap out.
Yeah, the pair of us had a little moment in the last corner. At one point, there was a car a little bit further up the road off the track, and the spotter was in my ear saying, yellow flag, yellow flag. So I nearly ran off, and I think Nathan, watching me a little bit, went deep too and went fully off. That's where we broke apart, and after that, I was able to put the foot back.
So you've now got the open mic. You got your team and sponsors. You want to give a shout?
Oh, yeah, thanks very much. Well, well done to Nathan for third tonight. I think it might be his first podium in AMF GT Dev, which is good for him. And the rest of the team, Fusion Sim Racing powered by AWS, Eclipse signage, dripping paint graphics, and Carter Plastic.
You just cut out there just for a bit.
Every time. That's the third week in a row now that I've said Carter Plastering, and it's dropped off. I need to hold my finger down for like 10 seconds after I finish talking or something.
Maybe.
Well, I think you're going to have plenty more podiums, mate, where you can always keep rectifying it and get it right.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Trent Thomas as well. He was posting nervously in the chat before about me breaking his win record in this series. I didn't think I was going to get it, but
oh, really?
But, now I think it's 6 on the trot, so I must be getting.
Yes, that's correct.
So watch out, Trent.
Yeah, he's going for you. In the words of Mortal Kombat, that has been a flawless victory.
Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, take care, boys.
Will do.
Thanks, Craig. Well, that's about it, Isaac. We're finished and time to wrap it all up. Like to say thank you for jumping in the commentary box again and filling in for myself, filling in for Steve after he's looking after his family as he should. So covering the podium broadcast for tonight. So thank you again.
No worries.
And until next week, we'll catch up and see you all then.
Will do. See yous.